All right, so the first part in making pot stickers is that in a large mixing bowl, you want to combine 3 cups of flour and a quarter teaspoon of salt. And this will usually give you around a serving for 6, in which each serving consists of 4 pot stickers. And you want to just slowly, add in your lukewarm water. And then you want to slowly knead it. First, you want to use the chopsticks, and then as the dough gets more wet, you can then transition to using your hands until a dough forms, which is not yet in this clip, but as you continue this process of kneading and adding more water, the dough will eventually become more wet as time progresses. And then in this video, you can kind of see, how the dough is sort of lumping together, and there's a ton of lumps stuck on my finger right now. And it's just really important that you continue kneading the dough, keep using water, and then keep pressing down. And eventually you'll sort of form this dough that's sort of like pasta dough, but without the eggs. So around here you can see how the dough has already become quite wet, and now my hands are still quite a bit messy, but I'm sort of able to get some of that off. And then now in this clip, after I think around 3 or 4 minutes, it should be formed into like a smooth, round, and a dough that is not too wet nor too dry. So now you want to wet a piece of paper towel, and you want to put that over the bowl so that the moisture in the dough will not escape into the air. And you typically want the dough to rest about 30 minutes. Alright, so the next part is making the filling. And the first part in doing this is to chop up your cilantro, typically around 2 to 3 cups. Next, you want to take around a pound of chicken breast, which is about 2, and then you want to slice it up into strip-like pieces. And then this will later come in handy for when we mince it up. Alright, next you want to do the same thing for your ginger, in which you want to mince it up finely and sort of use that pinch technique that we learned from Chef Cynthia, and sort of make it really, really fine. And this will just prevent large clumps from forming in the filling. So it's important to do this process multiple times to sort of just get the most finest product you can. Next, we're just going to combine the ginger and the sliced up chicken. Alright, so the next step is to mince everything up. So using a Chinese cleaver really helps this process rather than a chef's knife, because you're just able to get this sort of chicken ginger combination in a very fine and pasty product. Now you want to combine your mise en place, which included soy sauce, sesame oil, Szechuan pepper, and salt, and the cilantro as well. So get that stirred really well with the chopstick, and then once sort of this paste forms, the next step would be to add in the cilantro. So now you want to grab small clumps of cilantro while mixing it using your chopsticks, and this will just really allow it to be distributed really evenly. So now you just want to mix everything up together. Yep, so you want to continue mixing until everything just becomes really evenly distributed to make your final filling. Alright, so next part is to roll out the dough. So from the dough that we previously kneaded and rested for 30 minutes, you want to roll it out into sort of this elongated tube-like shape. So you want to, I cut off I think half of it, and you want to really roll this out into like a very long tube-like structure, and then this will allow you to cut each piece of dough used to make the wrapper out really easily. So as you can see, I'm sort of getting it evenly distributed, and now using a chef's knife, I'm able to cut each piece into small chunks, and these chunks will each be rolled out to make the dough that is used to make the wrapper. Alright, so now I'm sort of rolling each chunk of dough out into sort of like a small ball structure. And this will really allow you to achieve that circular wrapper that you'll eventually use to fill in the filling with. So now I'm just pushing each piece of dough against the cutting board so that a circular shape can already start to form.
Okay.
Next, using a small rolling pin, I roll out each piece of dough, and the important part is to sort of get it flattened and make sure that no part is too thick or too thin. So you want to really achieve that even distribution of dough. And then you want to sort of make the sides just a tad bit thin. Alright, so this is the fun part. Next, you're able to use your chopsticks and you can add in around a tablespoon of filling into the circular dough. And you want to enclose diagonally the dough wrapper so that, using this thumb and index finger technique, you're able to achieve this ingot looking like dumpling while maintaining its structure without having any leakages. So the next step is to oil up a cast iron pan, or you can use a non-stick skillet, but I prefer to use a cast iron. And you want to slowly add in your pot stickers to the preheated cast iron with the oil in it. And I like to arrange my pot stickers in a circular arrangement. And this would just allow sort of the crust to get pretty crispy, but it's worthy to note that the insides are not cooked, so more water needs to be added to allow for the steaming process to occur to cook the inside of the pot stickers.
Alright, that's good. Tell me when to stop.
Alright, so yep, now you want to just add in a little bit of water, just enough to sort of cover the entire bottom. You want to do this carefully, not to overflood certain regions, and sort of to have an even distribution of water level all across the pan.
No, 全部倒进来，全部倒进来。
And when this water comes to a boil, you'll find that the insides are cooked, and you want to let the pot sticker simmer for a little bit so that the crispy crust can be formed with the vegetable oil. So this is my final product, and it ended up being really tasty, and my family and I really enjoyed it. Thank you.